Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Raft series. Today we resume our quest to get some upgrades happening, finalise some unfinished business on this island, and just generally try and have a good time while we're doing it. So, first little thing we're going to do here is we are going to upgrade or armour our little raft. Now, as you can see, it costs a bit of metal in the form of a smelted bar and a bolt, or a nail. I've just gone and forgotten. Anyway, you saw what the mats were on the screen there. We need that for each of the spots that we're going to armor plate. So there you go. It's 1 bar and 2 nails. Now, this is the primary reason why I wanted so much metal smelted. And now that we're starting to make some progress on that, I'm definitely wanting to get the outside edge of the raft established and armoured as soon as possible. We're starting with all of the valuable bits first, and then we're going to work out from there. So, strap yourself in, pull out your favourite snorkel and swim fins, and get ready for some more action in Raft. Now, this session was slightly longer than my previous slightly longer session, so there's going to be a modest amount of sped up footage in this one as well. Essentially, I was very determined to just try and make some more substantial progress, and we definitely got there in this session. But by the same token, there wasn't really enough that it was worth splitting out into 2 episodes. So I've whacked in a fair bit of fast forwarding here and there to make it best fit within the available half an hour or so. So with that out of the way, we are here looking to capitalise on any of the little bits and pieces that we've missed, including, sand, scrap, basically anything I can get my little claw on. And as you can see, it's only taking 1 swing of our new scrap hook as opposed to the default plastic one, which generally takes 2 hits to pick up the same item. So we're already getting some much improved efficiency into our operation. And now that we have our shovel, we are able to come in here and get some dirt. The dirt will very much become relevant in the not too distant future. Probably not quite in the context of this episode, but once I've got a more, useful amount of space on my raft, I will be making use of this dirt to get some gardens going. So stay tuned for a future episode where that happens. In the meantime, we're here. We are making sure we haven't missed anything. Some of these caves, you will find they have multiple levels, which is why I'm looking up. I can't remember if this particular design was one of the ones that had a little step up and it goes up into a separate area. Turns out it wasn't. But I would recommend that you check for that in all of these caves that you find on the islands, because some of them have a lot more available, higher up, so to speak. So, yeah. Alright, now that we've taken care of the dirt and a couple of other items, we're going to put up with the fact that the shark wants to have a chew on the raft. But with our nice metal spear, he does not have much of a chance. But we're going to just unload some bits and pieces, and then we are going to do one last lap of the island to make sure we've got everything that we need. As you can see, it's been a while since we killed that pig, and it hasn't respawned yet. So I don't think you need to be quite as concerned in terms of leaving the pig's head on its body to delay its respawn. It's already a fairly slow respawn anyway. So yeah, just a public service announcement on that one, I guess. We're climbing the mountain. We're dodging an angry bird that wants to hurl rocks at us. And we're here to clean out whatever we haven't already cleaned out, which is most of it. But of course, we all remember we did miss that chest because we didn't have room to pick it all up. As you can see, we got some very nice stuff out of that chest, so that was definitely worth the trip. As is coming up here to get this mango tree to give us a bit more wood, some more mangoes, and a little bit more in the form of palm leaves. Having another quick look around to see if there's anything else up here. Whoops, yep, there's a tree over there. We're not going to worry about the goat-looking thing. That's going to be an adventure for another episode. They're not aggressive, so they'll always run away from you. So you don't actually need to worry about them per se. And they will come in useful in a future episode. For the moment, we're just making sure we haven't missed anything else. And it certainly looks like, as far as the island is concerned, once we've knocked this tree over, I think we're about done. Bit of interesting timing there from Mr. Shark. We managed to kill him just as we were leaving the island, but never mind. The raft was getting stuck because of the wind direction, so we didn't have to play catch up with the raft at all. We are safely able to reboard our raft, finish unloading our bits and pieces, grab our paddle here to get us unstuck from the island, and resume our journey of randomly drifting and picking up some useful supplies. Now, job one while we're underway is to get us some more of these nets. So now that we're going to be drifting back with all the debris, we're going to have a more steady supply of palm leaves and rope and things of that nature. So I'm very keen to get as many of these nets down as we can. And consequently, I'm going to be converting pretty much every palm leaf I come across into rope. Because you can see there, the collection nets require 8 rope. So that's a lot of palm leaves. But no time like the present, we are going to make all of that happen. Now, reference back to the previous episode, there's a piece of glass there that we just researched. That we got that out of the chest at the top of the mountain there. And we've now unlocked the better purifier. But of course, I'm going to need some glass to make use of it. And the penny hadn't quite dropped at this point. that I needed sand to be able to smelt to make the glass. But as of next episode, I think I'm going to make that my first mission, is I want to get the improved water purifier. It means I'm not reliant on wood to keep it going, and it purifies a lot more water in one go, and you just, top it off as you take water, and it's so easy to maintain. I would say the other mission that I'm going to have in the next episode is to make myself a couple of water bottles, because the water bottles are just a nicer way of hanging on to water. So, yeah, a couple of minor spoilers for what I'm going to plan to do in the next episode. For the remainder of this episode, though, we are in maximum collection mode, and we are looking at adding as much as we can to the raft to, essentially give us a decent platform to start building on. As you can see, the collection nets are just worth their weight in gold, honestly. The further into the game you get, the more time you spend kind of distracted on your raft. And of course, without collection nets, it means you're not actually collecting anything that whole time, because unless you're there to throw your hook out, nothing gets done. But when you've got collection nets, doesn't matter, you can go off cooking food, building more on the raft, whatever you're doing. at least your collection nets are still giving you some raw materials from time to time. And that's why it's very good to have at least a few of them. Honestly, if you want to, do it like the Game It Out guy and have a row of collection nets about 10 kilometers long that you can use like you can use it like a wiper blade to pick up stuff. Look, have at it if that's what you want to do. But I like to maintain a bit of maneuverability because I've experienced enough of raft previously to appreciate that a raft that isn't, over the top is a lot easier to manage than, something gigantic with 100 collection nets on it. So, look, whatever you want to do, you do that. For me, I'm going to be going, I won't say minimalist, but I'm not going to go overboard with the size of this raft. It's going to be big enough to give me enough space to incorporate all of the things that I want to incorporate, with maybe a little bit of space left over, because there's aspects of raft that I haven't experienced yet, so I want to allow a little bit of room for future growth if I need it. Now, these collection nets, you can put them side by side, but they actually have to attach to a foundation piece. So we couldn't stack them on the end without having this foundation piece there to make that happen. So you'll discover there are certain things like that that sort of force you to build in a certain way. To be honest, though, there's not a hell of a lot of them in Raft. You've got quite a lot of freedom to build in whatever direction you want to build in. It's just the collection nets. I don't think they count as like a supported structure type thing. So, yeah, it's all good. Alright, well, it's been 0 days since our last, we ingested the wrong thing. The ingesting of shark meat, if it's raw, does the same thing as if you drank salt water. So it makes you super thirsty. Probably because, I guess, shark meat's full of salt water, I don't know. But, yeah, always cook your shark meat if you want to avoid unnecessary amounts of thirst. That said though, we've got our water purifier, we've got fruit and things that we can eat that give us water back. So not really a major concern. We've just got to cross out the, it's been 3 days since we last did something stupid and put a 0 in there instead. I'm not particularly organised in terms of storage at this stage. That'll come later when I've got more room. But when you're on the drift, I'll say, and you've got collection nets like I do at the moment, that's the time that you would be spending, smelting and cooking and doing all those other things, so that you don't need to spend any of the time on an island doing the same thing. And so when you're anchored on an island, if you're doing it that way, it means you can very much focus on ensuring that you're just there to collect stuff and just dump it in a chest. Have a chest where you have all your unsmelted ore and things like that. And then once you've finished collecting on the island, you can, raise anchor, and on the drift is when you'll have plenty of time to smelt your ores and, all that other good stuff. So just a bit of a thought process if you are looking to be a bit more organised about that sort of thing. Alright, the next big upgrade we're going to go for is the fixed anchor. So as in it's reusable, we won't have to make a fresh anchor every time we want to, weigh anchor as it were. So the little thing that I'd sort of forgotten at this stage is just how big that sucker is. It is gigantic relative to the size of my current raft. And when I get enough mats and I manage to make the anchor here in a moment, you're going to realise just how much of an issue that is. When I put down that last bit of armour, I was thinking that, I just attach the anchor to that kind of thing and make that the outside edge of the raft. But, it's a bit of a big sucker. And more so, it drops the anchor through the middle. So you actually need a hole in the middle of that for the anchor to go up and down through. So I'm now having to sort of have a bit of a change in plans and create an area with a hole in the middle. So that's what this is here to do. It'll make the raft a little bit wider, but we're still pretty manageable in our width at the moment. And now you can see it's letting us put that down. Now, this introduces a new problem because most of the raft that anchor is attached to has not been armoured yet. So that will be of concern, and we've still got a bit of metal there, so we're going to do as much of it as we can to best improve our chances that if the shark were to attack, we're not going to risk losing our beautiful anchor. Alright, and another bit of essential kit here is a sail, so that we can dictate exactly what direction we would prefer to drift in. Wow, wind allowing, of course. So the sail's pretty basic to operate. You mouse over it and you hit E to lower or raise the sail. And you can hold R and just sort of scroll your mouse left and right to rotate the sail's heading. And then we're going to make something, I tend to call them a telltale, here in a moment to allow us to better visualize what the wind direction is. That gives us a better chance of working out what the orientation of the sail needs to be for our best chance of heading in the right direction. And here's our little flaggy looking telltale thing there. And I can see the wind is kind of mostly coming from behind us at this stage. So we're going to set sail for this little island because we want more metal. We've pretty much smelted all of the metal that we had from the other island. And clearly it's not enough, which that didn't surprise me at all. And we want more. We want a lot more. In fact, we want to go full-on seagull on this island and just take all of the metal that we can and then get the metal that we can't. So that is what we're aiming to anchor against as we get to the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you have not already done so. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. This is a very rude shark. Thank you for watching, and have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.